Okay, I've been sorting through some bits and pieces, and while I was doing that, the rest of the pieces arrived to finish the front brake. So this is the front brake panel that I cleaned up. This is a new stainless cable guide and also the pivot point for the brake shoes. The brake arm itself is the old shoes, springs are over there, so I'm just going to quickly put this together. Should only take a few minutes. Little bit of grease on the arm that works that spreads the brake shoes apart. This is just a simple slot thing that as it turns it cams the brake shoes against the drum and hopefully slows you down a little bit. Actually, generally they work quite well. There was a grease nipple arrived as well, so that you can re-grease this and put it in the right way around. Next up, this lovely stainless cable holder and pivot point. Put a little bit of grease on that too. I'm not going to do this up too tight, because what you're supposed to do is when the brake's on the bike, you pull the brake on as hard as you can with this loose, and then there's just a little bit of play in there for that to adjust. Not much, but it does help. Yeah, so the brake arm goes on last. Now the interesting bit with the shoes and the springs. So this pivots against this cam that pushes them apart. Pivot here on the new piece. Some grease on that. Some grease on that. I'll put a little bit on here too. Now, if I'm lucky, I'd put a little bit of grease on these springs. If I'm lucky, I seem to remember that you can assemble it a little bit of grease on this spring. There, that you can assemble it. They'll assemble the springs first. Let's see if I'm lucky. And then put them over like this. One's come out already. Put them over like this. And then, says he, hopefully, spring, oh, almost. There we go, ta-da! Bit of brake cleaner, because I did get a little smart on there. And that's it, simple as that. So this roughly lines up. The cable comes down through here, operates the lever here, so this lever should be somewhere, I would hope, that position, and this pointing so I'm not going to do this up crazy tight, just enough to keep it in place for now. When I were a lad, we were told that if once that got to 90 degrees like that, then your brake shoes were basically worn out because the efficiency starts to go off. So if it should be operating well before it gets to 90 degrees. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Done. See, when the brakes operate, they get pushed apart as this thing rotates. End of lesson on drum brakes. Okay, a little bit of work on the rear brake now. These bolts holding on the spline for the rear drive, these were just loosely done up for the minute, and now these little tab washer things have arrived that go on to prevent them undoing all by themselves, which is generally not a good idea. So put these on just finger tight for the minute. So now I need to bend the ends of these up to stop those coming undone. So they shouldn't come undone. Now I've got this piece, which I don't think is required. It's just this is back for when you have the bearings, unsealed bearings with felt washers and everything to keep the grease in, but these are sealed bearings, so I'm not going to bother with that piece. But I am going to put in the little clip ring. They have a proper name, and it's circlip. That's what it is, circlip. Perfect. And this piece, then this piece. Okay, so next is the shoes. So I think the reason that why the spacing's all wrong on the bike is there's another piece that has to go from here to here with a return spring on it. From here to here with a return spring on it for the brake cam, and I don't have that piece. And I will have soon. And when I get it, I will come back and fit that on. Meanwhile, I think that's it for the hub.